Welcome to episode 2, Theseus Monster. Tonight's story contains events traumatic to children. Listener discretion is advised. The job in question was a rescue mission. We had heard from a section under our protection that a girl had gone missing. It wasn't uncommon for her to leave her coven and speak with fellow demons in neighboring areas, but the other kids were sure that this time was different. From the moment we arrived, we could smell the different magic in the air. According to local demonic treaties, there was no reason for that magic to be used in this area at all. The optimists in our unit had hopes that the girl had left with this other coven by choice. The rest of us were just glad the scent was still alive. Tracking the path took days, and our first clue hit us in the gut with disgust. A cannibal formerly of the silverfish practice was caught with the kid's scent in his intestines. I can't imagine they got much of a word out of him before his form was cut to ribbons around us. Past him, the scent was still alive, so we continued our search. Down the path, there were other signs as we searched over the next week for her. Limbs, dead blood trails, and strangely a slowly changing soul scent. The optimists were expecting a corpse now, but me and the other hounds kept our teeth bared and honed to the path ahead. 2, then 3 more days passed, and the trail became drenched in the scent of decay and putrid death. We traveled and slept in those conditions, breathing through the nausea by the grace of God. Finding the abusers switched our gears as quickly as a bullet out the optimist's gun. There was no fight. We were faster, more deadly. When we found the girl and a dozen others, her organs, her limbs had nearly all been removed or replaced. This wasn't to harvest or to eat. It was this strange cruelty of humans. The girl begged to be put right again. Our team was attending to her, to the others, but we required too much help to save them. Our main priority became trying to keep them from passing out or dying from shock. I expected us to move the children to one of our medical facilities, but instead the backup we called brought new tarps, blankets, and medical equipment right to the room the children had been held captive in. The team prepared areas to attend to each victim. The damage done by these abusers was crude, with visceral magics overlapping and infected. We talk about different types of magic as different layers of light, or different combinations of light. The men who mutilated these children didn't know magic. They were just playing with it. Chunks of one magic for part of an organ overlapping with other magic systems for the other parts, unraveling the damage they did. The surgeries were long, but one by one the children were stable enough to relocate. It must have taken 3 days at least. They had been through unspeakable traumas. The road to recovery would be a long one. Something that happens with trauma, especially if you're young or if it's a repeated trauma, is something called a shattered nervous system. The pieces of self in the mind shatter and break off from one another, as your nervous system can comprehend the trauma piece by piece only, not all at once. Parts of your body accept what happened while other parts of your body won't. Now, this isn't magic. This is a trauma response, biological. Recovering from that. Trying to accept your body again, the pieces. working to have the whole self align, slowing down certain parts of the mind enough to meditate and get brainwaves through the system again. It's a long recovery process. Most of the children had families waiting to hold them. The parents had to be reminded that recovery is exceedingly slow, to expect at least a year or more of slowing reactions to start, that each thing would be new and overwhelming, from touch, personal space, to things like water over their hands. Don't rush them. Let them take 10 minutes to wash their hands if that's how long it takes. Once transferred, most of the kids were held in a private facility to heal. Some parents stayed with them, some just visited. After some time, I spoke to the girl we had been tracking. She was angry, and we saw potential. There was a long journey of healing ahead of her. But when her parents came to visit, we floated the idea of recommending her to a full-time training facility. Young demons would live and train together, taking time for meditation each night. The program would train her in healing and defense, and she would be around like-minded rebels. We were proud to hear when she accepted, and assured her she would have the rights to travel and correspondence. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, as dark as it was. Feel free to join us next time, and don't forget to check the membership options while you're here. Stay strong.